Today's Mass readings. July 15, 2020. Wednesday of the 15th week in Ordinary Time. First reading. A reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 10 verse 5 to 7 and 13b to 16. Thus says the Lord, Woe to Assyria! My rod in anger, my staff in wrath. Against an impious nation I send him, and against a people under my wrath I order him, to seize plunder, carry off loot, and tread them down like the mud of the streets. But this is not what he intends, nor does he have this in mind. Rather, it is in his heart to destroy, to make an end of nations, not a few. For he says, By my own power I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am shrewd. I have moved the boundaries of peoples. Their treasures I have pillaged, and, like a giant, I have put down the enthroned. My hand has seized like a nest the riches of nations. As one takes eggs left alone, so I took in all the earth. No one fluttered a wing, or opened a mouth, or chirped. Will the axe boast against him who hews with it? Will the saw exalt itself above him who wields it? As if a rod could sway him who lifts it, or a staff him who is not wood. Therefore the Lord of hosts, will send among his fat ones leanness, and instead of his glory there will be kindling, like the kindling of fire. The word of the Lord. Responsorial Psalm. Psalms chapter 94 verse 5 to 10 and 14 to 15. Let our response be, the Lord will not abandon his people. Your people, O Lord, they trample down. Your inheritance they afflict. Widow and stranger they slay. The fatherless they murder. The Lord will not abandon his people. And they say, the Lord sees not. The God of Jacob perceives not. Understand, you senseless ones among the people. And, you fools, when will you be wise? The Lord will not abandon his people. Shall he who shaped the ear not hear? Or he who formed the eye not see? Shall he who instructs nations not chastise? He who teaches men knowledge? The Lord will not abandon his people. For the Lord will not cast off his people, nor abandon his inheritance. But judgment shall again be with justice, and all the upright of heart shall follow it. The Lord will not abandon his people. Gospel reading. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Matthew chapter 11 verse 25 to 27. At that time Jesus exclaimed, I give praise to you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth. For although you have hidden these things from the wise and the learned, you have revealed them to the childlike. Yes, Father, such has been your gracious will. All things have been handed over to me by my Father. No one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son wishes to reveal him. The Gospel of the Lord. Before we proceed with the video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Also, please hit the notification bell, so you won't miss out when we release new videos. Feel free to share your comments, suggestions, and reflections at the comments section down below. Thank you and God bless. Now, let's proceed with the video. The reflection on today's Gospel. Belonging is what characterizes family life. And one of the signs that people are family is that they know things which are kept secret from, or never revealed to, others. In many Gospel passages, it is difficult for Jesus to even continue to convince his hearers that he is more than just any wandering preacher, and when he claims to forgive sins, many think that he is really going too far. But in this passage, things are carried further, still, so that these gospel lines have been compared to a thunderbolt or meteorite appearing in a perfectly everyday sky. Not only does Jesus tell us that he himself is one with the God of heaven, but he calls God his Father. And, further, he speaks of an intimate relationship between Father and Son. The ordinary people would have considered the learned doctors of the law to be on a higher level than themselves. But the people are now invited or elevated to a dignity that is nothing less than superhuman. They are to be adopted sisters and brothers of God's Son, to be adopted royalty of the kingdom of heaven.